Hi guys, welcome back to One Man's Junk. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these general pickups then. Well, I call them general just because they're not my finds of the day. That's not to say that they're not, of course, exciting. They are definitely some great pickups. So you may remember from the last episode, I have been on a bit of a Realms of the Underworld kick. You know, those kind of Remco style figures that's released by Zolo World. Well, this week's no different. I did pick up a few more from Mike's last sale, and I even learned a new trick. I learned how to separate the bubble with a razor blade from the card and protect the card art here. So you've got some really nice card art here. It's really special, really well designed. And what did I get? Well, I got this guy here. I believe that's an Archfiend here. He's in a nice nice translucent red here. He is a bit of a stickler to get him to stand though. Well, here he is anyway. Pretty difficult to get him to stand, especially with the camera rolling. And I also got this one here, which my understanding is this was a ZoloCon special. So there was a few remaining and I was lucky enough to snag him. Again, a translucent clear one here. He's really cool, very happy with that. So again, thank you so much, Mike. Here's another pickup that is really cool. It's actually a McDonald's cup from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, I distinctly remember seeing this in the movies when I was a child, so 1988, so I was 6 years old, but I don't think there's much Honey, I Shrunk the Kids merchandise, so that's definitely a nice little find. I'm very happy with that. Here's another great piece. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I do have a bit of a Slimer collection. This is the last one of the vintage pieces that eluded me, and this is the Super Fright Features Slimer. He is missing the Proton Pack, but he is pretty hard to come by, and of course he is really cool. Now you know I have a Remco fascination. You know that I have a little collection of Crystar Remco, so thanks to my good buddy Mike the Muss, I was able to add this very rare Crystar gumball machine. It's a gumball, more like a gumball carrier more than anything, but definitely a cool little piece and certainly very hard to come by. So another big shout out to Mike the Muss. Seems like it's all the Mikes, huh? Speaking of shout outs, again, if you're not aware, we are promoted by Frankenculture, which is organized by a good friend of mine, Steve P., who was kind enough to actually mail me some trauma merch, because he actually used to work there, including this sign here. How cool is that? That bumper sticker. And even better, he sent me a Toxic Avenger reaction figure. What a great little treat. Thank you so much, Steve. I don't know. I gotta say, I'm really disappointed only that the bubble's firmly attached, because when they're loose, I like to just open it, and have them loose on my shelf here. So that's the only drawback, but what a great little piece. Steve, thank you so much for that. That was really nice of you. Here's a funny one. Now you may remember I've mentioned my Select Converter Spies. I'm a big fan of those, like the Walkman that I have, and the pinball machine one. Well, this here is part of a series that's called the Aviators, I believe, or Aviations. And of course, they're all bird themes, and this is my latest pickup, and his name is Feathers. So of course, as you can see here, he is a proud peacock who of course transforms into a robot. So that's a really cool little pickup, especially because he's all in one piece. The pieces do tend to get broken or go missing. I need to see within my unidentified weapons bin, maybe I have the chrome sword that goes with him. Okay, and here's another really cool one. So this of course is a Masters of the Universe knockoff. This one is actually called Cobra, and this one is from Suko. So this is actually a Galaxy Fighter. Now you have the Galaxy Warriors from Sun Gold that had a almost exact figure that was called Sahak. Again, it was a snake head, but you can tell here by the shape of the hood here of the snake that's in fact who he is. He's only missing his sword here, but definitely a cool figure. I would have loved this as a child. I did have a few of those figures from that line, but again, this is just really, really cool figure, and I'm definitely going to be holding on to this one as well. Okay guys, welcome back to a special edition of Action Figure Identification. Okay, so that's a pretty cool looking ray gun. And that was packaged with Mars Attacks Trendmasters. So definitely a nice little piece. Okay, so it's one of my favorites, an innocuous looking piece of plastic. So you may be able to figure out that is definitely a battery cover, but to what? Well, there's actually a little clue on the back here. It does say Mattel 1982, and that was the battery cover for the Attack Track Masters of the Universe. Here's another one, quite interesting. It's from the same series. It is Masters of the Universe. It's for the Blaster Hawk, which was packaged with 5 of these. But the interesting thing is that it is stamped Mattel, but it's stamped 1970 Mattel, which leads me to believe that it was perhaps packaged with either Big Jim or Barbie, originally as a Frisbee. Here's a really cool one that you may have seen before, or you may even have one and you're not sure what it is. It's actually from Kenner, Swamp Thing, and it comes with a few of the bad guys. It goes right over their head. I'm assuming because they undergo some kind of transformation. You may think it looks like it was packaged with Star Trek, kind of looks like a Star Trek satchel. You're kind of half right. It's actually packaged with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Star Trek crossover figures. Here's a really interesting one. Again, it's very hard to tell what it is. It kind of looks like flames on each end, and that is correct. That was packaged with Mattel Aladdin with one of the genies. Okay, so these two look kind of similar, almost as if they belong to the same series, which of course is incorrect because you'll notice that they're 2 different tones. The lighter brown one there is actually packaged with Playmates Darkwing Duck, and that goes with Launchpad. But the other one here is in fact not Darkwing Duck. That one was packaged with Ertl, Super Mario Brothers, the movie. This one here is a phenomenal pickup. Big shout out to my boy Ed. Yes, this one was packaged with Filmation Ghostbusters, and I believe this goes to Tracy. So a great pickup. Okay, look at this silly little piece of yellow plastic. Nothing much to it. I actually had 2 of them, had no idea what they were. They were in my bin of unidentified parts. Yep, that's right. It's probably one of the hardest pieces to find to complete the Playmates Ninja Turtles sewer playset. Wow. Here's another cool one. This one, believe it or not, is actually a helmet, like so. Yep, and that was packaged with Mego chips, but of course the smaller 3 3/4 inch figures. Another great pickup from my good buddy Ed. Thank you so much. I was on the verge of selling my collection because I thought I was never going to find the accessories. But here you go. Flash Gordon, Mattel, yes. Okay, and finally here is a truly spectacular one. It's a piece I've been hunting for a while. It actually helps complete a figure from my Centurions collection. If you give me one moment. Yes, it's for Dr. Terror. It's for his claw. So if you have a look at this here, there you go. Finally complete at last. Excellent. All right, guys, it's time for Finds of the Day. Alright, so first up I have something that I picked up in an online auction that was hosted by a good friend of mine. He's a fellow admin over in the BOD, Toys for Suckers. Don't forget, I do the live auction every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Facebook, link in the comments. Mixie was hosting this auction. I picked this up. I've never seen one before. It's still sealed in the baggie here. It's going to be pretty hard to see on camera, so I'm going to have a photo right here of a loose one so you can see it. It's actually a shoelace face, which, if you remember, if you're about, was really big in the 80s. You would have one of these like shoelace biters or holders with your laces laced through it. So this was actually released through Burger King. It is, of course, He-Man. It's really cool, and I believe it's it says loop your fluorescent laces. So that's a nice little piece here for my He-Man oddball collection. Now, I am a big collector of Kenner Centurions. I do have all the figures, all the accessories. I've got most of the battle packs, And I was very fortunate enough to pick this up again from another good friend called Robbie Bruce, and this would be the Dr. Terror lamp. Now I believe he's missing the helmet that came with it, but let's just see if it works. So here we go, that's the Dr. Terror lamp, and we're going to see if it works. Oh, it does still work. Unfortunately, I don't think it's too strong of a bulb, but certainly a great little piece. I mean, it's pretty much an action figure. I think you'd be pretty disappointed to have received this as a Christmas present as opposed to the actual Kenner action figure with all the removable limbs, as we just saw in the action figure ID, but certainly a great little piece and definitely one for the collection. So big thanks to Robbie Bruce for that one. Alright, this next one's really special. It crosses over two of my favorite lines. So you've got that kind of Remco, Realms of the Underworld, along with Swamp Thing, also from Kenner. And what do you get? Well, you got this, the Bognar Warlords of War. I am really tempted to take him out of the package here, but my understanding is he's pretty rare. I didn't see any others listed. I haven't seen any listed for a while. He's kind of funny just because the limbs, the head, the torso, it's attached with magnets, but it's a really cool, really well made figure. And of course, check out that box art here. It's really similar to the Kenner Swamp Thing box art here. So I'm going to have a comparison so you can see. Yep. So definitely a cool crossover or tribute, however you want to attribute it, but a lovely pickup, a lovely find, and certainly going into my Kenner Realms of the Underworld collection. So guys, you may have noticed I've picked up a lot of little pieces for my collection. It's been a very productive few weeks in terms of growing my junk pile. Now, something that I've mentioned a while ago, I haven't picked up a few pieces for it in a while. That is, of course, Mattel Computer Warriors. So you may remember I've shown off this, the Pepsi can. I've shown this, the football trophy here. So these, of course, it's Mattel Computer Warriors. It's a really phenomenal line if you're not familiar with it. It's from like 1989 to 1990. It was a TV show, a cartoon. Fortunately, it didn't do too well, which is very surprising considering what it is. It's got like a hidden feature, you know, so it looks like an everyday household item, such as a can of Pepsi Cola or a football trophy. But as you can see here, it kind of converts into some kind of battle station here, or in this case here again, you know, it converts into some kind of like spaceship. So that's really cool. So I decided while we were on lockdown, I was a little bored and I was hunting. And yes, I managed to pick up a few more pieces. I say a few, quite a few. Here, I actually picked this up here. That is the torch or beamer. So that's really cool. I picked up this. That's the calculator that turns into a tank. Where does it end? It doesn't end. Look at that. I even picked up the alarm clock that again turns into a tank. And finally, I unfortunately didn't manage to complete it. I've still got a few little pieces to get. There is a huge PC computer that I need to pick up, which is really hard. There was one that was listed recently, about $900 in the package. You know me, I'm a loose collector, I prefer it loose. So guys, if anybody's watching and they have one, please let me know. But I also picked up the pencil sharpener. So of course the great thing about this is this is actually a working lamp. This is a working alarm clock, however I do need the batteries for it. And this is also a working calculator. Again, I need to pick the batteries up for it. That's also a working pencil sharpener, so really cool. Unfortunately, that's not a real can of Pepsi, but hey, can't have it all. I also got the instructions for them as well here, so that was really nice here. But I'm not going to try and convert them here because I don't want to spend all afternoon trying to get them together to kind of show you. But maybe we'll have a photo of a before and after when we air, so you can certainly check them out. But if you're not already familiar with it, definitely look into it. It's Mattel Computer Warriors, and like I said, it's one of my favorites because it's kind of got that Transformers element where it's kind of like a robot, or should I say a tank, spaceship in disguise. Guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. If you do miss my face, make sure to catch me, One Man's John, that's in the BOD, Toys for Suckers, Facebook, every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, where we do wonderful toy sales. So make sure to catch us there. See you then. Bye now.